The United States has offered Ukraine a 15-year security guarantee as part of an emerging peace framework following talks between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump in Florida. Zelensky confirmed the guarantees are agreed in principle, but stressed Kyiv believes the proposed duration falls short given the scale and length of the war.
We discussed this within our teams yesterday and approved it with the President of the United States that we will have strong security guarantees from the United States. Truly now, this is not forever. In documents, this is for 15 years, with possibility of extending these security guarantees. I raised this question with President Trump. I told him that we have the war ongoing already, and that it goes for 15 years almost, and that's why we'd like the guarantees be for a longer period. And I told him that we'd very like to review a possibility of security guarantees for 30, 40, or 50 years, and that it then would be a historic decision of President Trump. President said that he will think.
Zelensky said Ukraine is seeking guarantees that go beyond political cycles, warning that limited assurances would leave the country exposed to renewed Russian aggression. He framed a longer commitment as essential to long-term stability. Zelensky also said a 20-point peace plan is now 90% agreed, confirming that Trump has already discussed every point directly with Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, he cautioned that Russia's track record makes verification critical.
President Trump told me he had a long conversation with Putin. He talked over all 20 points of the plan, point after point, and I thanked him for this. This is important that we all are in the same context, and that they discuss this specific document, and not some other documents. He, Trump, said what Putin is ready for. I don't want to talk about that now in detail. But I told President Trump that for us it is very important. This is not the first time when Putin says something but does differently. For us, it is important that words coincide with actions.
He said only two issues remain unresolved in the plan: territory and the future of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, while security guarantees themselves are agreed, with discussions now focused on their duration.
Two questions remain: the plant, how it will function, Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and the issue of territory. These are two questions that remained in the 20-point document. And that's why I said that this 20-point plan is 90% ready, because there is no agreement on 2 points out of 20 points. As for security guarantees, I said, everything is 100% ready as it is. So we will discuss a little more details regarding the term of these security guarantees.
The Kremlin, however, is setting a far tougher bar. Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Moscow agrees peace may be closer, but insisted Ukraine must withdraw its forces beyond the administrative borders of Donbass, while ruling out any direct talks between Putin and Zelensky.
Certainly, it is about the withdrawal of the Kyiv regime's armed forces from Donbass beyond the administrative borders.
As Washington speaks of guarantees and timelines, Moscow is demanding territory first. Ukraine wants decades of protection, Russia wants full control of Donbass, and the negotiations are increasingly centered on Donald Trump, not Kyiv. The question now is not whether peace is closer, but what Ukraine may have to concede before it arrives.